Alright guys, Fuller coming to you with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. Shout outs to my dude Stay Ready, my dude Blue Blood. I see y'all working in Houston. And especially a shout out to Blue Blood for the F.A. Ajagba interview. That was a really, as a matter of fact, that's the best interview I saw with him. With a member of the press. No shade on Boxing Voice, but his was, you did him justice. Shout outs to you, Blue Blood. Now, anyhow, as far as this Canelo saga is concerned, it looks like he's doing what I predicted he's going to do. It looks like he's going to, because he is elevated into a new type of champion that they created for protective purposes. It looks like he is going to vacate the IBF and the WBA middleweight belts as well. This article came out on World Boxing News not too long ago, a couple of hours ago. It looked like, that they said in the article, the Golden Boy, the Zone Star, wants to join the likes of Juan Manuel Marquez, Jorge Arce, and Eric Morales in the history books of his home nation. And it also said, whether with the jury out on Canelo is actually a title holder, WB regular at the super middleweight class, he may have to do work at that weight class. And it also goes on to say that indeed the Kovalev fight is kind of like a possibility. That he's really looking to do that. Now, the thing is about it is they indeed said that the 28-year-old has left the 160 limit division behind. And it looks like a third fight with Gennady Golovkin is going to happen, in May 2020. Now, what's going to happen now, it looks like, is that Gennady Golovkin, typical Triple G, is going to move up to 168 to chase a Canelo fight. The reality is this. Triple G fans say that, he can beat Charlo, he can beat Andre and things like that. The reality is he doesn't think he can beat them guys. Because as it stands right now, the work is at 160 right now, for the simple fact that you got two guys who are holding a belt. And they're holding pretty decent belts at that, because they're the full champions of those belts. But you never hear Triple G mention their name, You always hear these Triple G decaps say, well, why don't they fight each other? Well, at the same time, why doesn't Triple G try to fight one of them to get back into the mix? Because as it stands right now, he's the odd guy looking in. But as suspected, I expect him to move up, get that Canelo fight. Now, because of this new franchise champion thing that we have going right now with Canelo, it looks like they will give him a shot at Callum Smith, Anthony Durrell, or Alexandra Alexander Vostik. But honestly, I don't see him taking the Callum Smith fight. I just see Callum Smith being too big. Now, although Callum Smith is not like a crafty boxer, so to say, he is very good at distance management. I just see him catching Canelo trying to come in. You know, Canelo has good head movement and whatnot, but Canelo is very flat-footed, you know, and good head movement is not good if you're flat-footed because someone can time you and catch you, you know, and that's what I would see happening with Canelo if he fought Callum Smith. So what I expect him to do is probably fight Anthony Durrell, you know. But then again, Anthony Durrell has a fight with Benavidez, and that's not even a sure thing for him. Benavidez is a high favorite in that fight. In fact, I got Benavidez stopping him, you know. Now, another thing too is that we have to realize that, you know, with this being said, and the crazy thing is, Triple G fought Steve Rose at a catchweight at 163. But what they're saying too is that Canelo may have to get another belt at 168. But I really don't see him fighting the elite 168 guys. I mean, who is there for him to fight at 168 that he would feel comfortable? Not only him, but also his handler, Oscar De La Hoya. Who is there in that division that he will feel comfortable in fighting? You know, and we have to realize, I mean, 168 is not a slouch division. There's some dogs at that division. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I guess, you know, he feels that he can campaign at that weight class. I mean, I don't see him fighting a moving boxer like a Caleb Plant. I don't see him fighting a Billy Joe Saunders. You know, I really don't see him doing that. You know, I mean, there's nobody he can really fight at that division. You know, that would be a walk in the park. I mean, as quiet as he's kept, man, I got even Uzcategui giving Canelo that work at 168, man. Real talk. Now, one thing I want to say is that one thing I do want to say is that, you know, because Canelo drops these belts, you know, because he drops the IBF, he drops the WBA belts, I want to say that this opens up the division. You know, this makes the division wide open. And with that being said, this means that, you know, we gotta have these guys fight each other. You know, that means a Charlo Andre fight has to be made, you know, for one of these belts. That means I'm pretty sure that if Daniel Jacobs does decide to stay around, he'll probably get a title shot. He was talking about moving up to 168, but maybe now, because we have these kind of developments, that we possibly are going to see him stick around and stay at 160. At 160, you know, I don't know why, but Billy Joe Saunders said he going back down to 160, but the nigga needs to just stay where he is, because I don't trust him. He'll probably have to pop the bean to do it, you know. But anyhow, man, it looks like Canelo is indeed going to vacate. You know, I can't take any credit on it, but I kind of called it. I kind of saw it happen that he was going to vacate. And with that being said, it opens up the division, which I'm pretty happy about, you know. It makes for some more fights that are potentials that can be made now, you know, and it leads to hopefully these guys not being afraid to fight each other now. And it also leads to the fact that now, you know, hopefully you won't have to worry about a handler keeping these fights from happening, because, you know, best believe Oscar De La Hoya did not want to put a Canelo in there with an Andre, Canelo in there with a Charlo. Best believe Tom Loeffler did not want to put Canelo in there with a or best believe Tom Loeffler didn't want to put a Triple G in there with a Charlo. Best believe that he did not want to put him in there with an Andre. You know, the bottom line is this. Out of all the opponents that Canelo and Canelo and Triple G have had, the ones who have given them the most trouble and the ones who they have looked the most unimpressive with are boxers who can box. Boxers who beat them to the counterpunch. Boxers who have good movement, you know. And the thing is about a Charlo and an Andre, in regards to this type of style, I mean, they have that style times 10. And then to cap it off, Charlo has some like really powerful pistons, you know what I mean? Because I mean, the reality is knocking dudes down with jabs is kind of example of your power. And I just really don't think that Canelo or Triple G wanted those parts. You know, they did not want parts with those type of fighters, you know. As far as Andre, I would say, yeah, the power part may be lacking. You know, don't get it wrong. He may be lacking the power department. But when it comes to the overall skill as a boxer, and this hand speed and whatnot, and the boxing IQ, I would say that, you know, he'll trump both Canelo and Triple G in that regards. But I hope what he doesn't do, because this is why I hope Andre doesn't do this, because I know he's been wanting a Canelo fight so bad, that he's been wanting a Triple G fight so bad. What I hope he does, though, is still just stay campaigns at 160. I just hope he still stays there. I hope he doesn't move up to 168 trying to chase those dudes, man. I hope he just fights, takes care of the business down at 160, man. Do something special, man. Become the first ever Cape Verdean unified champion. You know, and if you're really feeling like you're cooking with gas, try to become undisputed at 160, bro. I hope he doesn't move up to 168 trying to get those fights, you know. Now there's a lot of work at 160 now. The division has been opened up. Hopefully the floodgates are now open, And you may have some other guys moving up to 160 that may want some work as well. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen. Leave your thoughts and leave your comments. And shout outs to World Boxing News for this information. And this is Fula signing out. Njaram.